Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Hayley Osborne Show. I am very, very happy that I am here in your ears, wherever you are. I don't know where you consume the most of your podcast, but I do mostly in the car. And I love that. Usually when I'm by myself driving, I'm in the car and I'm just listening away. And, the mental notes that I need to take, I try and remember when I stop and write them down if I have any cool ideas as I'm listening. So enjoy wherever you are. This is episode 99. And I wanted to talk to you today about my best business tools because I get asked a lot with my private clients, my private one-on-one coaching clients, as well as in the membership superhero marketing, what tools I use, what are the best hacks, what can I impart my knowledge for my clients to get from A to B as quickly as possible, because you don't always know what you don't know. And so when you learn something new, that might very well just help you overcome a few hours of your day and shrink that time. I think that's such an awesome thing. So I wanted to talk to you about that. But before I do, I want to share that I will be opening the doors to my signature membership, Superhero Marketing, very soon in a few weeks. So doors open on the 19th of March. Now, there's a couple of things, that's a Tuesday. There's a couple of things happening. And currently there is a wait list that you can go to get some extra bonuses, which are really cool, which involve some one-on-one time with me if you join the membership via the wait list, and that opens 48 hours before doors actually open to the public. So that one-on-one time is really, really powerful in getting you off to a great start and just is hyper focused on your business. So be sure to join the wait list if you're keen to join the membership and you've been on the fence for a while, because you can't miss those awesome bonuses. So that is the 19th of March. So you can get on there now through my Instagram if you like, or through my website. The second thing I want to talk about is a super cool challenge that I'm running. It is called the Marketing Makeover Challenge, and it is a 3-day challenge that I am running. And it is exactly that. It is your Marketing Makeover Challenge. So what is it? Well, it will be making over your marketing. And there's a couple of things that I've uncovered throughout the years of doing this and working with so many business owners, is that there's really three parts that all encompass how you put your best foot forward in terms of your marketing. So that's why this is going to be run over 3 days. And this time that I'm running the challenge, I've actually got a private Facebook group as well, which is my Marketing Makeover Challenge Facebook group, where I have an activity to keep you accountable, and to keep, I think when you have a group of people that are high achieving, you want to do the same. And so I think there'll be power in this group if you want to come along for the ride and get some things done when it comes to your marketing and moving the needle. So I'm going to set some challenges in that group, which I think is really cool. But we'll run for 3 days, and it's the Marketing Makeover Challenge starts on the 20th of March, which is a Wednesday. Then it will be Thursday and Friday. So 20, 21, and 22 of March at 11 a.m. Australian Central Daylight Savings Time, which is Adelaide time. So if you're in Melbourne or Sydney and you're listening to this, it will be 11:30. And if you are in Brisbane, I think it's 10:30. Anyway, so 11 a.m. Adelaide time, we start Wednesday the 20th, Thursday the 21st, and Friday the 22nd of March for the 3-day Marketing Makeover Challenge. And it will help you the first day will be to learn how to establish your marketing foundations, what they are, what works, and what doesn't. Day 2 is learn how to completely align your digital assets, positioning, and digital footprint. And day 3 is learn how to optimize your content to increase sales. So that's the framework that I use inside my business. And I want to show you all of the what and the how that you need to do to be able to do that, because I feel like these are common questions that come up and up and up. So I would love you to join me in the challenge. You can register now via my website or via my Instagram. There's a hot little link that you can click on. You'll see it. It's very, very in lights. You'll know where it is, for you to come along and join us. There is a lot for you to learn. and I can't wait to teach you. So that is my marketing makeover 3-day challenge happening on the 20th of March to coincide with the celebration of doors opening for the very first time this year for superhero marketing, which is super, super cool. Okay, so let's get into today's episode about my best business tools that I use in business. So I'm going to go through some basic programs first, and then I'm going to go through the actual physical tools because I feel like you need both, right? So this is probably not going to come as a surprise to anyone, but Canva. Canva, if you don't have Canva Pro, if you haven't paid for that yet, it is something that just is everything to my business. And I'm going to start sharing some little tutorials on how to do things over on my social media, because what I found as well is that there are so many things that Canva actually does that a lot of people don't actually know. And so I'm sharing that in the membership too. And I wanted to give you a more top line view on little tips and tricks that I've taught myself over even the last few months, because it changes and updates so much. Another basic program is Trello. I use for planning. I use Asana with my team, and I also use Teamwork Spaces to host all of my systems and processes. So there's a couple of things. So Asana is more the to-do kind of lists and recurring tasks, but Teamwork Spaces is the program that I use to house all of my procedures and how to do things. So they're two really powerful programs that I use inside my business. Kajabi is another one. That's where I host a membership. That's where the library sits for you to have easy access to all of the learnings. And it is such a great, easy user experience. So if you're stressing about that, there's also an app that you can download that you can watch masterclasses that you missed on the couch or, in bed when you're resting. You can just tune in so you don't miss a thing. I also use Facebook Business Suite for scheduling, which I reckon is pretty good and it's free. So I'm not going to go to you to buy anything fancy when I use that. I use Otter AI as my transcription tool for heaps of different things. And so I use it for obviously my solo podcast episodes. I use it for my guest podcast episodes. I use it as well for audio, like guest appearances that I've been on other people's episodes as well. And also to transcribe meetings, because I find it a very, very useful tool, because you can't always take notes. And so I also use my Remarkable, which I absolutely love as a tech tool. I'll talk about that in a minute. But as a transcription tool, Otter.ai is my favorite thing in the world. And I also use Otter AI to write the framework for the blog that's attached to my podcast. And I also use it for the framework for the social media posts and descriptions for the podcast. I don't ever actually take word for word what it comes up with. But what it does is it strips out research time for me, which I love. And so that is one thing that has saved me a shit ton of time. Another thing that I use inside my business is Opus Clip, and I use that for clipping up things like this. So I now have all of my podcast episodes on YouTube. So they're all pre-recorded, which is super awesome for making one piece of content into 20. And I love that. And so Opus Clip does that for me. It comes up with headings. It does so many things to make my life easier. I use Libsyn as another program. God, I use a lot of programs. Oh my God. So Libsyn is another program that I use, which is the host of my podcast, which pushes it out to all of the platforms. So don't think that I go in and I'm like, doo-dee-doo, here we go. Now I've got to push it here, there, and everywhere. No, it is one to many. And so I found heaps of little loopholes on ways to do that in my work, which I share inside the membership and also with my private clients. And Answer the Public is such a great tool as well for figuring out what people are asking and what people are listening to, and just gives you a bit of social proof on subject matter. So Answer the Public's another one. Obviously Zoom, which is where I'm recording this podcast episode for YouTube. So if you want to see like the visual of me of what I look like, and you just want a different experience, head over to my YouTube channel, which is Hayley Osborne, to check it all out there. There's a few other really cool things on there, like video testimonials from my clients, which, I encourage everyone to get because nothing says you're awesome like somebody else saying it for you. There's so much power and social proof in that. Anyway, the next thing I use GarageBand, which I have a Mac. So I use GarageBand to record all my podcast episodes, and I love that. And I actually edit all my podcast episodes myself too. And if you talk to most business owners these days, successful business owners that are busy, a lot of them actually edit their podcasts themselves. So I have help with the podcast as well, along the way, but not a weekly editing person because I just don't need it. Because it's actually really, really easy to edit your own podcast when you know how. It takes me less than 5 minutes. And so I just figure, why not? And so I also have a full-time staff member in the business, and that's something that they now do. But otherwise, it's so easy to do yourself. I cannot stress that enough. If you need help with any of this stuff, reach out to me. I'm always up for a chat. And then I look after a few really high level corporate service based businesses too. And so I use Buffer for them, which is a social media scheduling tool for mostly just Twitter, because I find that to be really great for Twitter. Okay, so they're the basic programs that I use. That's all I could think of. There's probably more, but here we are. So now the equipment that I use inside my business. So I use a full length tripod, which if you are on YouTube watching this, you will see a picture of this. So it's a full length tripod, desk phone stand tripod, which moves and morphs and can point down and sits on my desk. And what's going on there? Silly thing. I, I, what is happening? Oh no. Called on this. Yeah. So where were we? I use a desk stand to house my phone, which is really helpful. And then I use a full length tripod, which is also something that is I take with me places, and that I can have my phone in. I don't have to ask anyone for their help to take pictures. I just, set it up, pull it out my handbag, set it up, and then I can take a photo, a video, B-roll, anything like that at all, on the tripod, which is super cool. And then I use a ring light. I've got actually a free download, which is a list of all the equipment that I use and links to everything that I'm talking about in this episode so that you can go and use it. And the full length tripod, it condenses down to nothing. And it also has a Bluetooth function. So you can just set it up and just press, like, take the photo. And you can have it horizontal, landscape, whatever. It's honestly like the best thing that I've bought, and I take it everywhere. I have a ring light, which is cool. I have many ring lights, and I have a couple of other light boxes, but the ring light is so awesome. It was inexpensive. It also houses my phone, and it sits behind my webcam. So that's something that I think is important, because when you are fully lit on your face, people can see you and you're a little bit more trustworthy and not in the dark. So when you're lit up, and fully visible, it makes you more trustworthy too. So the ring light really helps to just shine light on the subject, which is me. And then I use some newer light boxes, which are cool, and they're from Amazon, and the link is to purchase is actually in the equipment that I use download. So there's two, and I find that I put the light boxes on when I actually record masterclasses or like free trainings or anything pre-recorded, because it's more professional. I use a Logitech webcam, which is the one I'm recording this podcast episode on. And the link to purchase that is in this download, because there's so many out there, and I did my research and I found this was the best to use, but we're not all great with tech. So if you've been looking for a webcam that's not your laptop camera, that's really good quality. It's super easy to use. It's super easy to connect up. And if you think like you've got to move to the next level with, how you produce content and things like that, it is really important to get a webcam in your life because it is much clearer and it's just heaps better. The next thing that I can't live without is my Remarkable. I just can't live without it. It's honestly the best thing. I don't use it as like I use it as a notebook. I don't use it to store files or anything like that. Everything's linked up to my Dropbox and my Google Drive, but I use it to take notes and then I can send the notes to myself. I can translate the notes into type as well, which is super helpful. I do like to read the actual notes too, so I send myself both and I file them away, whether that be under like meetings or clients or whatever, only because sometimes it has a little bit of trouble reading my like handwriting and I like to draw diagrams and things like that. So I give myself both. I use a Blue Yeti microphone, which is what I'm recording this podcast on right now. And the link to purchase that is also in this equipment download. And it is inexpensive as a microphone and is one of the best in the market. So if you're thinking about starting a podcast and you don't know what microphone to buy, this is the one. I have a microphone sock over the mic and I also use a pop filter. So those two things really help with the sound quality and they're inexpensive as well. Like they're under $30 and they take rid of the pit pit and the tut tut, which is quite a tinny noise in people's ears when they are listening to a podcast. So they're the equipment things that I use and the different programs that I use in my business. I hope this has been useful for you. There is a free download on my website, and also you can access it through Instagram. It's called The Equipment for Your Small Business, and everything that I've talked about is in that download with the links for you to be able to just access very, very easily. So you don't have to worry about it. And I hope this has been helpful. This is episode 99. Oh my goodness. So next week means it's episode 100. Oh, how exciting. Okay, guys, I have a lot to get done today. I hope that you have the best day, and I will catch you next week for another episode of The Hayley Osborne Show.